California suffers through an unprecedented drought that we've been covering over half the state, now facing the most severe conditions.
We're technically in the middle of our rainy season. Mountains should be lush with green. Instead, they're bone dry.
If we have another year as dry as this last one, we'll probably be just about entirely out of business.
Apparently, these trees haven't received any water at all.
Weather-related disasters like droughts, wildfires, storms, floods.
Jay, they can't just truck water in.
Crop, among the most water intensive in the state, is valued at about $5 billion annually.
In fact, you can't even see water from where we're standing.
California, $2.2 billion.
30 feet underwater here.
Americans use some of the most water per capita in the world, 1,500 cubic meters of water per person per year.
Why is it that Americans use 3 to 4 times as much water as others in Europe or other parts of the world? I mean, 1,500 cubic meters per person per year in America. That's 396,258 gallons. That's enough water to fill 6,604 average-sized bathtubs. That's per American, per year. Where's all that water going?
I think the average American consumes more than they should. Overusage in showers and around the house and stuff like that.
Washing your cars, sprinklers.
How can you flush your toilets? How can you take a shower? How can you brush your teeth in the morning?
Really bad. It's been going on for a while and it's the worst that it's been in decades.
Very likely the single worst drought of the last 150 years and possibly approaching the worst drought of the last 500 to 1,000 years.
In the 1930s, the Great Plains were devastated by a killer drought that lasted for almost a decade. One of the nation's worst natural disasters.
The people who lived through the Dust Bowl have been scarred forever.
In the 1930s, the Plains region of Oklahoma, Kansas, the Texas Panhandle, and other western states were hit by one of the worst droughts on record. Thousands of farms went bust as parched crops wilted in the fields. Hundreds of thousands of people were left homeless. It was one of the worst natural disasters in the nation's history. And experts agree we are due for another extreme drought soon. The effects could be devastating.
This drought might last 2 more years or 6 more years. It could last a decade. You could literally have 6th and 7th graders with no memory of real rainstorms.
California has got one heck of a problem, and Californians are only beginning to wake up to that reality now.
The governor says Californians need to change the way they live. But in a state with 1.5 million swimming pools and sprawling growth, that won't be easy.
We're in an historic drought, and that demands unprecedented action. It's for that reason that I'm issuing an executive order mandating substantial water reduction across our state. I'm calling for a collaborative effort to restrain our water use.
You know, it's easy to do small things like shortening the showers and timing them to, you know, making sure you're saving water when, you know, doing dishes.
I think we could wash our cars less, which isn't that hard.
We have a really big effect on the world's water as a whole, and that we need to be working on that, not just for our state, but for everyone.
This is the new normal, and we'll learn how to cope with it